before you start your next diet or your next workout program, you're going to want to listen to this episode because we are about to cover the 5 things that have to be part of your next program in order for you to stick to it and get amazing results. This is the Begin Within podcast, where we believe real, lasting health and fitness requires you to start inside before you work out. I'm your host, Nate Slegger, and I'm here to show you behind the scenes of fitness. You already know exercise is good for you, but what about all the other things in life that affect your fitness? If you're looking for extra motivation to get started or to make sure you keep going, this is the place for you.
Produced by BeginWithin.fit.
This is such an exciting time of year for us fitness trainers, nutrition coaches, personal trainers. We love it because so many people, their minds shift once the kids go back to school and life starts to have a little bit more of a predictable schedule. There's just a little bit of a chill in the air in some of the northern portions of the United States. Definitely where I'm at in Wisconsin, we have that, right? Just, I think, on Labor Day, it hits. It's like someone flipped a switch and all of a sudden it's just a little bit cooler. You got to wear some sleeves when you go outside, and maybe you're digging into your wardrobe and trying on things you haven't worn for months, and you start to realize things don't quite fit the way that they used to, along with the fact that now there's some predictable ebb and flow to life on a daily and a weekly basis, thanks to school being back in session. And all of a sudden, minds start to go toward health and fitness goals and wanting to make some really big changes. If that's where you're at, congratulations. That's a huge place to be ready to make some changes. And perhaps you're kind of in the process of deciding what to do. What should I try? What's worked before? Should I go back to something that I gave a shot to before and it didn't end up panning out in the end? Should I try something new? Where should I turn in order to focus on my weight loss and my health and my fitness? Whatever you decide to do is totally fine with me. I want you to know that. Like, it's your choice, and I firmly believe that the things that we choose for ourselves rather than the things we're told to do by someone else end up just naturally being more successful because it's us that's making the choice. We have a little bit more of a drive to follow through and see it be successful. So the choice is yours. However, what I hope to do today is to give you a little bit of food for thought when it comes to the elements that should be part of your program. And you can check and see as you're researching, a diet, a workout program, whatever it is, if it's going to help you to improve your health, your fitness, help you lose weight, not just short-term, but long-term, permanent lifestyle change. I believe these 5 elements have to be present. So if they're not part of the program, as you do research, you're like, oh, it's not there. That's okay. You can build them in yourself, but they have to be there in order for you to be successful. So let's dive in. Here are the five things, and then I'll, of course, dig into each of them a little bit more specifically for the next few minutes. So first of all, there has to be a focus on daily actions. Daily actions, not just once in a while workout or a couple meals here and there. It has to be daily actions. Number 2, there has to be an element of tracking, assessment, and reflection. I know that's kind of a 3-in-1, but I feel like they're all so closely related together that I'll put them as just one element: tracking, assessment, reflection. Number 3, mindset. There has to be some element that addresses mindset, that addresses psychology. Thoughts and feelings have to be part of it in order for it to be a long-term solution. And then support from others has to be present. I'll tell you about that. And then there has to be an element of celebration built into the program in order for you to stay motivated. So those 5 things: focus on daily actions, the tracking, assessment, reflection piece, mindset, support from others, and celebration. So here we go. Let's dig into each. First of all is focus on daily actions. And these are the things I call habits. They're the things that we do every single day. We've talked so many times here on the Begin Within podcast about how we need to make our focus very small, very microscopic in order for us to be able to do it. And the reason is motivation doesn't last. Motivation comes and motivation goes. And sometimes we feel motivated. We're going to take on this really big, huge thing. We're going to start this new workout program. I'm going to work out 5 days a week, and it's going to be for an hour every time. And we know what happens. We fizzle. We fizzle out after a little while. We start out strong. We start doing it, and then motivation wanes. And the big thing that we wanted to take on now, it's just too much. We just don't have the motivation to do it. So realizing that in order for a program to be successful for you, we have to make it granular. We have to get down into the small steps that you are going to take every single day in order to implement the program. And like I said, you can, if it's not part of the program, you can put this in yourself. You can absolutely put this in yourself. If it is working out 5 days a week for an hour, that's the program. That's what is being asked of you, and that's what you've accepted. You've decided to take that on. Then instead of thinking about it that way, we have to make it tiny. We have to ask ourselves, what are the tiny pieces of that workout? What are the steps that I have to take from the life I'm used to now into the person that's working out for an hour? What are those steps? What do they look like? Workout clothes, shoes, going to the gym, right? Getting in the car. All these little steps have to be thought of, and we have to figure out how to get ourselves to take that very tiny, very first step. That should really be the focus. That should be the focus. Whatever it is, right? I use the put on your shoes example so often. That's the thing. Once the shoes are on, great. I've heard of other coaches that say to their clients, just get in the car. That's all you need to do is get in the car. That's all you've got to do for me. Because they know once the client's in the car, they are so likely to go ahead and follow through, right? I got dressed, I got in the car, and now I'm gonna drive there. I'm not gonna get out of the car and go back in the house. So find the thing, the little thing that is going to ignite you, to propel you forward to take the big step, the big action that you're trying to take. All right, let's move on. So that's the focus on daily habits or daily actions. It has to be there. And we just call those habits in the program that we have here at Begin Within. And of course, I'm going to tell you about our program. We're launching right now a brand new program called the Begin Within Habit Academy. But let's move on. We're going to talk about this piece of tracking, assessment, and reflection. It all goes together because it is a way to see how things are going. So what the tracking piece is all about that daily action, even that tiny habit, just putting on your shoes, getting in the car, whatever it is, finding a way to say, I did it, I did it, I did it, I did it Monday, I did it Tuesday, I did it Wednesday, I did it Thursday. You're just checking off your adherence to the daily action that you have to take with this program. Or maybe it's actions. Maybe it's a whole bunch of things you got to check off. You have to have a way of getting some raw data. It's just data on how you adhered to it. Otherwise, what happens is we just give it our best shot, and after some random amount of time, we just decide, you know what, this isn't working. But if you have some raw data, did I do it? Did I not do it? That you can look at, a piece of paper or an app on your phone that's tracking how successful you've been in this streak of this new lifestyle that you started. Now you can look back and you can say, okay, it worked here. Here's where it didn't work, and here's why. I didn't do this thing this day, and I understand how to now plan around it or how to do a better job in the future. Or maybe, you know what? It's okay on this program that I didn't do it that day. I don't have to be perfect on this program. But there has to be some element of tracking. there also has to be some element of assessment. And this is really looking at the result that we came to the program for. Is it serving the purpose that you wanted it to? So take weight loss for example. If you started a program in order to lose weight, there needs to be a regular assessment of body weight in this case, right? Of course, we can argue about the best ways to assess and, is it measurements? Is it how your clothes are fitting? Is it what the scale says? Is it body fat percentage? Is it how you're feeling in your energy, in your positivity and optimism? What is it? But there has to be a regular time to assess the result that you came to the program for. It has to be part of the program, in fact, that assessment. And again, if it's not there, you can do it yourself, but you have to do it consistently. You have to leave enough time to get that result, right? So for weight loss, so many people get on the scale every day and it's just confusing. They don't know what the data is telling them from one day to the next, and that's just the way body weight is. So even if it's body weight we're tracking, maybe more like once a week is a better amount of time to see, did something actually happen one way or another? And we're trying to be just absolutely objective about it. Here's the number, right? Here's what happened. Here's the result that we got. We're not going to, judge ourselves. We're just kind of investigating the process. How's this thing working? And that's the idea of assessment. Now, reflection comes as a result of that. When we look at the tracking, how have I been doing with it, the assessment, how the results been, now we reflect. And that has to be part of the process, has to be part of the program for you, diet, workout program, whatever it is. As you look at how you've been doing with the tracking, have I been doing the workouts? Have I been, prepping my food and eating the meals? Looking at the tracking and then looking at the results, we have to reflect. We don't say, oh man, this isn't working, I'm done with it. We just say, hey, let me reflect for a minute on what I'm seeing, on just the data that I'm getting here. I'm not judging myself in terms of results. Oh, I didn't lose weight, so I'm no good. We're just, if anything, we're going to judge ourselves on the action, right? On the tracking. Well, did I do the work to get the result? If I didn't do the work, well, that's where my attention needs to be, back on the tracking. How do I get myself to actually do this thing? But we're reflecting. We're saying, how has it been? And how do I want it to be different going forward? How can I make it better? And of course, if you're sticking to it and the results are great, then maybe the answer is stay the same. Let's just stay right here for now. But we're going to keep tracking. We're going to keep assessing. We're going to keep reflecting so that if the result changes, we can now change what we're doing going forward in order to get a better result. So that's the piece of tracking, assessment, and reflection. And if it's not built in as part of the program that you're going to sign up for, that you're going to submit to, then put it in yourself, right? Maybe every Saturday you do this assessment, you jump on the scale, whatever it is, and then you take some time to reflect on how things have been going. Third, mindset. Okay, so we have the focus on daily actions, we have the tracking, assessment, reflection. Let's talk about mindset. And I believe this is such an important part of a program. It needs to be there, and it's so easy to overlook, especially when program designers, we have all these great ideas and we say, I know how to get clients results. I know how to help you lose weight, body fat, whatever it is. We forget that human beings are more than just machines that say, hey, here's a new program, just like a computer program, right? Install it and away we go. Now it's going to run itself. That's not how humans work. We have thoughts and we have feelings. And so mindset has to be part of it. In fact, I often think that actions come from feelings, which come from thoughts. Or in reverse, thoughts lead to feelings, which leads to action. So if we're going to take different actions, and any program or diet, that's what it's encouraging you to do, is take different actions, then we have to also start having different feelings, which are going to come from different thoughts. And so any program has to include mindset. It has to be a major piece of it. And this is something that I used to love to do. When I was working with people, clients, one-on-one in the gym, we didn't have mindset like baked into the program at that point. but it was something that we addressed during sessions. We talked about it. We talked about concepts. We talked about psychology. We talked about what was going on behind the scenes. And that was such a huge thing. That's where I saw clients really start to change. And so you can, again, if it's not part of the program that you're in, you can make it part of your program, part of your journey by digging into psychology, by accessing podcasts like this one. And there are so many others that help you with the behind the scenes of fitness, the psychology of motivation, all those kinds of things. There's tons of books that you can read on habits and psychology and motivation. Put it into the program for yourself, because it has to be there in order for you to be successful. To take the actions that you want to take, the new actions, there have to be thoughts and feelings that are starting to do some moving and some shaking and some changing inside of you in order for you to get what you want. All right, we did the focus on daily actions. We did the tracking, assessment, reflection. We just talked about mindset. Let's talk about support from others. Other people are so important in your success. You know, the alternative to involving other people is to do like, fitness kind of in the closet, right? You're just going to do it all on your own, all by yourself. You're going to do all this research. You're going to find the right program to get on. You're going to purchase it or whatever. You're going to get access to it, and then you're just going to do it, and you're going to stick to it. You're not going to tell anyone what you're doing, because, to do that would maybe expose yourself to some guilt and shame, or what if it doesn't work? Everyone's going to know I failed. And so you do it on your own. What is likely to happen is exactly what you fear. If that's what you've tried in the past, you know what happens. It's so easy because there's no accountability to other people. It's so easy to just let yourself off the hook. And that is normal. That is human. And to look at it from the other side, we're social creatures. We do our best when our best is being demanded by other people. When other people expect us to show up, we're more likely to show up. When someone's going to check our homework, we're more likely to do the homework. This is just normal. And when we realize that it's okay, we make sure that it's part of the program. And this day and age, there's so many different ways to get other people involved. There's Facebook groups. There are coaches that don't necessarily want to get in your face, but they can just help you on an app. There are friends and there are family that are willing to support you, and you could just let them know, hey, I just listened to this podcast and I've got to make sure that I have some social support, that I have somebody who's checking in on me. I'm going to try this program. Would you please help to hold me accountable? Would you ask me next week if I did X and Y? Would you ask me how my workouts are going? And this could be someone right in your family, just to say, hey, I need some support. I need some accountability. Could you help me? Would you help me? Would you just ask me? And you know what's really cool is you might end up positively influencing that family member or that friend that you ask for support. More than likely they're having the same kind of thoughts. I should do something. I should do better. Hey, I'm going to join you. And how cool is that? But in order to be successful, it has to be part of the program. Don't try to do this by yourself. If you do it by yourself, more than likely, you're going to let yourself off the hook. That's just the way we are. We do our best when our best is expected of us by other people. All right, let's move on to the last piece, and that is celebration. So we have the focus on the daily actions, the daily habits. Number 2, we have the tracking, assessment, reflection added in. Number 3, we address mindset, the thoughts and the feelings that lead to actions. Number 4, we make sure that other people are somehow involved, supporting us and holding us accountable. And then number 5, celebration. We change best when we feel good. And that's a concept that I learned from BJ Fogg, one of the leading minds when it comes to the work on habits, how to incorporate habits into life. We have to feel good. And in this process of fitness, especially in the world that we live in, it is challenging to achieve health and fitness goals. It's hard to lose weight if that's what your goal is. It is challenging. And when something's very difficult, that means it can be very easy for us to feel negative It can be very easy for us to feel down, to get discouraged, to lose motivation, to feel like quitting, to feel like giving up. It can be very easy for us to get confused when we don't get the results that we wanted. I thought that I was doing the best I can and I'm not getting the results that I wanted. I'm just going to give up. We can feel negative so easily. And maybe that's how you've been feeling. Maybe that's how you felt when you've done diets and workout programs in the past. Just not good enough, just negative. Well, here's something that needs to be part of the process, I believe, for people, human beings like you and me, to be ultimately successful. We have to have celebration along the way. We have to have positive vibes, positive energy all along the journey. It encourages us. It builds us up. And so it can be as simple as just taking some time on a regular basis for you to reflect on the positive things that you've accomplished. Not just results, but how you're feeling about yourself. I followed through and I stuck to it and it was tough and I feel really good about that. But there has to be a way for you to capture that. There has to be a way for you to celebrate that. Maybe it's just a journal. Maybe it's a discussion you have with one of those supportive friends. For us, we have a Facebook group where we want to share those regular celebrations. We encourage our clients to do it on a regular basis as well. Celebrate the successes. And every time, and this is something that we learned working one-on-one with people in the gym too, was when they came in for a weigh-in, an assessment, right? Celebration was the first thing that we talked to them about. We still do this with our clients. Celebrate. What are you celebrating? What have you done well? What are you proud of this past week or this past month? Let's talk about that first. Let's talk about victories that are outside of what the scale is going to say, what the tape measure is going to say, or how your clothes are fitting. Let's celebrate some victories together just for a few minutes. It has to be part of the process. And of course, we love sharing client successes, helping them to celebrate themselves, and then helping other clients to share and giving them congratulations. Celebration has to be a part of the process for you if you're going to stick with it. So again, if it's not already built in, if there isn't already a system, a process, a routine for you to celebrate along the program that you're thinking about getting involved in, you can add it in yourself. Definitely. But it has to be there in order for you ultimately to be successful. Now, I will admit, there are a lot of programs out there that are going to be telling you, hey, this is going to really help you get healthy. This is going to be the thing that's going to just change your life. It's a diet, it's a workout, it's a whatever. But I'll tell you what, there are very few that I have come across that incorporate all 5 of these things. But guess what? You know where I'm going with this. We have done it. We have all 5 of these and so much more added into the brand new Begin Within Habit Academy. I'll tell you about it just for a few minutes. It is delivered to you on our Begin Within app. It's a clients-only app. That's how you get the course content. So we have regular, we call them, quote, workouts, but they're just videos that introduce a habit to you. You're going to get those on a consistent basis, and then we're going to have you track that habit, how well you did on it given the assigned amount of time. We're also going to encourage you every single week to celebrate a success with our group. We also have regular mindset sessions where we share a mindset topic. We also have a reflection day every single week. How's this been going for you? What's been going well? What could be better? We also have, guess what? An assessment day every single week on the regular. It doesn't have to be the scale. It's whatever works for you, whatever method of assessment works for you. We have you track, again, in the app as well. We have daily tracking. We have messaging with a coach, somebody supporting you. It's all there. And we're so excited to be able to make it available. It's available now. There'll be a link in the show notes right now. Doors are open to enroll in the academy. And it starts on Monday. So we start the program on Mondays always. That's kind of the ebb and the flow of the week. So whenever it is, if the program is open for enrollment, and it is right now at the time of the recording of this podcast in September of 2022, if the doors are open, we always start on a Monday. So whatever day of the week it is, you can sign up for it, but you're going to have to wait till Monday for things to start coming into your app. Okay? So it's all there. It's all ready for you. Check it out. Link is in the show notes. I hope to see you on the inside of the Begin Within Habit Academy. I will talk to you again soon right here on the Begin Within podcast.